Okay, I'd like to start off this video by saying why I'm making this video. There was an incident at my local field, Exeter, Virginia. I made a video recently in which I safety killed a group of enemy players. This caused a lot of confusion. I thought I'd safety killed one of the players, but he thought he'd already shot or counter safety killed me, I guess you could say. I kept yelling bang bang, and at the same time I realized the distance that I was yelling bang bang was a little far, so I started shooting as well. This caused a whole fiasco as to whether I had safety killed people, then shot two people, and then should I have shot them, or safety killed them, and some of them didn't even realize that to be eliminated. Then of course I had been shot in the back by that point by opposing players, so everyone was confused as to who had shot whom, and if I was already dead by the time that I had yelled bang bang and shot. If you understood none of that, of what just happened, that's okay, because that's exactly what I thought and the players that I had safety killed thought. No one was injured and no disagreement began, thank God, but stuff like this really annoys me. The rush shouldn't have been this complicated. I should have just been able to run up, shot a few times, and then all the confusion would be gone. If somebody shot me, I would have called my hit and that would have been the end of it. The reason I didn't do this was because I didn't want a few salty mill simmers getting triggered because I accidentally shot them a little too close. And there's the root of the problem. The safety kills create confusion, make disagreements among players, and overall take away from the immersion of the game.
Firstly, safety kills create confusion on the field. I have played at Battlehack Airsoft in Chesapeake, Virginia. It's one of the most well-known fields on the East Coast. They have abolished the safety kill rule for this exact reason. Chris, the owner of Battlehack Airsoft, always talks about how if one person goes in a room with multiple people, let's just say 7 for example, and yells bang bang, the probability of the situation turning out well is fairly low. This is confusing to everyone in the room. Who is dead? Who is the guy yelling bang bang to? Is everyone dead because this one guy started yelling bang bang twice? These are all valid questions. And then the problem becomes that 7 people who are surprised and confused might all start shooting this dude. This is a problem because this one guy is going to get annihilated by all these people shooting him while they're confused. In addition, the dude who sneaked up on 7 soldiers in the building could probably have gotten more than 1 kill that he got credit for because he yelled bang bang. This takes away from the immersion of the game, something that is the very essence of the game and why the game exists. But I'll get to more that later. And being punished for sneaking up too close to your opponent is something that certainly makes the game of Airsoft an unenjoyable experience. And while you can see that the guy who snuck up on the building is probably going to get shot regardless, that's not necessarily true. The player could be skilled enough to shoot all the enemy players, or even if he can't eliminate everyone in the room, at least he would have shot, and the people who have been hit definitely know that they're eliminated. Secondly, safety kills create large disagreements amongst players. Now thankfully, no problems arose from the incident at my field. I think one person there might not have called their hit, but I honestly don't care. There have been other problems like this that have arisen at other fields. Most notably, Jet Desert Fox released footage of him at SS Airsoft being safety killed by a dude who just ran by him yelling bang bang. As Jet himself points out, the man's gun is pointed only in his general direction, and if he were to have actually fired, the BB would have gone nowhere near him. This is only one case. Like my incident, no problems came from this, but other problems have spawned out of this rule. One such video being guy tries to fight me in Airsoft by a YouTuber called WAG Entertainment. Edgy name I know, but the gist of the video is that WAG, who was recording, shoots an enemy player in an opposite house. The player who was shot misunderstands the rules and yells bang bang. Knowing the rules, WAG continues to play, telling the player that the safety kill rule only works within 5 feet. The player does not believe him and goes to the ref and demands that WAG call his hit. The ref confirms WAG's statements and the problem is solved when the enemy calms down and walks back to his respawn. All of this could have been prevented if the enemy who was shot had instead of yelling bang bang, but shot at WAG. All this confusion could have been avoided if the player had shot and hit WAG, or if the player missed, he would have just called his hit and walked. WAG states that the player was new and probably didn't understand the rules. And this further proves my point that the bang bang rule is confusing and can be misleading and lead to conflicts. Finally, safety kills ruin the immersion of the hobby. Airsoft is a hobby based on immersion. Why do you think many millsimmers spend hundreds of dollars on kit? It's because they enjoy the immersion. And even speedsofters, who admittedly don't really like immersion per se, find it enjoyable to act like soldiers for 30 minutes, even if they're doing it in an unorthodox way. Being safety killed takes all the immersion out of the game, not to mention being pretty embarrassing. There's a map at my local field of Exo called Compound. There's a large building in the center of the map, and the only problem is you can't discharge your primary weapon inside, which is very irritating. You can shoot out of the building and people can shoot in, but you encounter somebody inside the building, unless you have a pistol, you're most likely going to trade kills, which kind of ruins the game sometimes, especially when the game has just begun. This problem can be even further accentuated when you have a riot shield on one team. You can see where that leads to problems, but I digress. Now, you can't exactly use a specific argument when talking about insurance rates, something that requires most cases implementation of the Bang Bang rule. But it still doesn't take away from the valid argument that this is Airsoft, not paintball. It's not a sport. It's a hobby that should be enjoyed and played the players want. Many of the players that I know find safety kills annoying, confusing, and ruins the game for them. Of course, we all have to realize why safety kill rules exist, and that's for the safety of many younger players who are new to the sport. This is the counter argument that is certainly valid, but the majority of times that I have played, it's with older players, i.e. ex-Marines who find the rules equally annoying and would simply rather be shot than safety killed. I think there's a medium through which this can be achieved. I think that if the field that day is full of a majority of younger, less experienced players, the ref should say, okay, we'll play with a 5 to 15 minimum engagement distance. But if the field on that given day is full of many experienced players, I think the players and the ref should decide that maybe let's play with no MED today. Or perhaps somebody could say at the beginning of the game, hey, if you come across me during play, I don't mind if you shoot me once or twice up close. Or a player can say, I'd rather you safety kill me. In conclusion, safety kills split the Airsoft community. It creates confusion, disagreements among players, and it ruins the game and immersion for many people. To change this, I would encourage many fields to change their MEDs based on the number of experienced players on the field, game mode being played, or the map being used. I know that this might be hard, and I know that some insurance companies limit rules like this, stating that players must play within a 15-foot minimum engagement distance, but I still encourage them nonetheless to look into the option. Alright, well that's my poorly written opinion on this certain topic, but what do y'all think? Are safety kills something that should continue to exist? Should they be abolished? Or do you think they should exist somewhere in the middle? Share your opinion in the comments below, and if you found what I was saying the least bit interesting, consider subscribing.